Welcome, welcome to Good Vibes. My name is Aleakwe and I've got some special guests with you today. Before I introduce them, we are going to be discussing the relationship between musicians and fans. And please share and anything you relate to at any time beneath this content. It's an audio content for the first time. And yeah, we're excited. I'm welcome Bart and Neil. They're going to introduce themselves in a moment. And yeah, so I'm going to stop being such a fan of them both and let Neil introduce himself first.
Hi, everyone. I'm Neil Shah. I'm an implementation consultant. I work for a software company. In my spare time, I've done plenty of songwriting and performances. And introducing Bart.
Hey, my name is BART McDONAGH, and my day job, I work for a record label called Domino, and in the evening, occasionally, I perform in a band called Barry.
Excellent. So even though we've known each other for years, we've all had busy working lives, but our passion has always been music. Our shared passion with music. I have not been able to create music. I do sing badly in karaoke. A lot of people would know. I'm a lip sync star in my head, but the guys, I'm excited because they both create music and are part of it, and they're going to give you insights that we don't hear about beyond the charts, beyond the headlines, beyond the glamour. So I just wanted you guys to take me through your average working day. What would that contain? Get in there in a creative space. Your creative spaces.
Okay, so I always start my day with meditation, which I find helps to both center me, but also, whilst I'm still sort of figuring myself out in the morning, waking up, it actually helps me to provide some focus for the rest of the day. So um, now, in terms of creatively, I have moments where I'm more creative than others. Usually, it's either early in the morning or late in the evening. So I use those times to do most of my creative stuff, like songwriting, or I write short stories as well. Or if I'm doing something for work, which involves a lot of creativity, PowerPoint, I tend to do those in the morning.
Yeah.
Usually, get those out of the way as quickly as possible.
And Bart, I'd love for you to share as well. You mentioned Domino Records.
Yeah.
What do you do there?
My job title is Senior Project Manager,
Mhm.
which is, I don't know, what do I do? The record is recorded, so that's within the A&R process, and once the record's delivered, that's when I kind of generally start working on the project. So then I would work with the artist and management to put the campaign together. So work with them, getting the artwork together, all the creative visual tools, so artwork, videos, video content. Then would then work out the timeline for the whole campaign, and then just make liaise with all the different departments, so the PR department, international departments, various offices, just to keep everyone sort of on the same track. Yeah, and yeah, so and sort of usually the point person for management or the artist regarding an album release.
Can you name some of the artists on your roster?
Yes, some artists I work with is Blood Orange, Bonnie Prince Billy, Franz Ferdinand, Georgia. Yeah, there are a few off the top of my head. So
Yeah, that's me just finding out. Georgia.
yeah.
Okay, Bonnie Prince. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna settle down. They're amazing. Okay, continue. Yeah, please, guys, comment below. If you have any questions for this, we'll get back to you as well. And do share this. I just want to double check. Does A&R that you mentioned, does that still stand for artist and repertoire?
Indeed, yes.
Fantastic. So basically, these guys do everything. Okay. Just so you know, keep on listening because it's amazing. They are the glue for all that happens within it, and it's what you see brought to life on screens, on stage, that shared experience. Listening, what it takes. Now we're going to be covering the fans' perspective in the relationship between the musicians and the fans, and then we'll do the musicians and the A&R and everything aspect later. So from a fan perspective, I'd like to ask you guys, What was the first vinyl, LP, or cassette you bought or were given?
Okay, so I think it was Voulez-Vous. Obviously didn't buy it because I was probably about not even born. I don't know if I was born then or not. But that's the one that I remember being in my dad's record collection and being my record.
By who? Who's the artist?
ABBA.
Oh,
That's
don't
it.
let me sing. Yes, amazing.
Please sing. Let's turn this into a sing along.
And I think I had the poster as well, the poster of the album cover on my wall,
Amazing.
which was great. It had a big sort of, looked like a laser beam coming through it.
Superb. And you got?
I guess yes, or similar sort of parents' record collection. Because I was thinking about this earlier today, and yeah, my parents didn't have a massive record collection, but I guess it was just off the time. I remember a Rod Stewart Greatest Hits album, just because it was like it had an amazing sleeve. It was like really bright pink, and he was like wearing like a sort of pink satin. It was when like Rod Stewart was kind of like campy disco, you know, definitely not like, you know, whatever, faces rock and roll. So he was just like, so do you think I'm sexy and things like that.
That was him.
Yeah. So things like that. I remember a 7-inch of song "Working My Way Back to You, Babe."
Oh yes.
Which I can't remember who sings that. Do you know the one?
No,
Working my way back to
Was it the Four Tops? Or
was it? Okay.
I think it was like
Detroit Spinners. No.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Guys, if you know, type me.
Yeah. I could have checked
like,
this. Yeah.
Northern Soul, Motown, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It's a tune.
Yeah. But then yeah.
Rod Stewart. Okay. This is a sidetrack. No, this is a sidetrack because I have my ma to thank for stuff. But first of all, we'll come back to Rod Stewart. He's on my current playlist on my phone, and Young Hearts Run Free.
Oh yeah.
And it's a tune. But my mum made us the lyrics that she loved. Instead of doing housework, she'd give us £1 to cash monies to write the lyrics of the songs she loves. And then it was Rod Stewart, Maggie May.
Oh yeah.
And so all these things are imprinted. And so many things we'll come back to later. She said she had an eclectic taste.
Yeah.
Mine, my older brother, he's like, oh, what do you want? It was Christmas years ago, whenever it was, probably mid-90s. Paula Abdul. Rush. I was obsessed with Rush and Straight Up Now. I don't even understand why, but I still love it. Total. And I remember the cassette. I was excited, the emotion of opening it. And then now it's like, and I only now seen the video. And it's got Keanu Reeves and Paula kind of doing the. Do you remember it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think because I'm such a lyric freak, and it's like all I want from you is what you are, and if you're right next to me, it's just too much. And I was like, kid, face your books. What are you thinking about Keanu Reeves?
Exactly. Why?
But the fear of holding the cassette and getting it from my older brother, and it stayed with me, and yeah, I miss my cassette.
I remember Like a Prayer, Madonna cassette, and it smelled patchouli, and I just remember, and I didn't even know what patchouli was. I just remember just smelling it, just thinking this smells really intriguing, and yeah, and because I used to get cassettes from the R Price on Kilburn High Road. So
my God.
yeah, so.
But I love that extra touch though, because if you've got everything, all the senses, you're in it, and they added patchouli.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of customer services, babe.
Yeah. That's Madonna.
She goes the extra mile, doesn't she?
She's bringing you into her world.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Nice touch. Okay, next question. The first gig you went to, and what type of connection did you feel or emotional reaction? I'll tell you, I've got 2 bits to this while you guys are thinking of yours. Technically, if my mother's memory serves her correctly, she told me while she was carrying me pregnant, it was in Fela Kuti's shrine in Nigeria.
Amazing.
Okay.
So she was there, like shaking body there. And I'm like, you know what? I believe in that like body memory. That's why I probably love the beats and the tribal beats and talking drum and him. But then my other, I think one of my first gigs is that my parents bought me tickets to see James. I was obsessed with James.
Sit down, James.
Sit down, James.
You're going all over the place here.
Fela Kuti to James.
I know, I'm like, wow.
What I'm saying to you is my mom and family, eclectic mix. This is a woman that we came over as Capital Gold. And then she would be fighting over, why do you like Eminem? Do you
Yeah.
like Black Sabbath, Rod Stewart? So I'm like, yeah, bring it all on. It stayed with, and all this kind of mixture.
That
of
is
stuff.
quite eclectic, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Very
Wow,
eclectic.
what a range.
It's a range. And then, yeah, so James, I was so excited by that first gig, but then I got the flu. But nothing was going to stop me going to Shepherd's Bush to see James. And I literally, I don't know who I went with, but I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to do it. I can't do this. Got to Shepherd's Bush, was in the balconies, jumping around the place. It was I got so involved, and all the lyrics, and they were amazing. And then got home and just was sick for 2 weeks, but so happy that I saw them.
Oh,
What about
wow.
you guys? First gig?
Okay, well that's a bit of a difficult one because I guess from an early age I was in bands, so I used to go to these one-day festivals where I perform with a group of other, or my band will perform with a group of other bands. So yeah, one of them in particular really struck with me, and it was this blues rock outfit, and I can't recall the name, but I remember their outfits. They had brown, almost looked like vinyl suits on. I don't know. It was just really polyestery suits, and there was a lot of static going on. So I just remember the sound of the guitar and loads of static. But yeah, that sound kind of stuck with me for a while. And you know, we tried to recreate that sound in our band as well, sort of fuzzy guitar playing the blues in some back rooms in Yorkshire.
Excellent.
But I guess the first proper gig that I went to, like a professional thing, was Michael Jackson.
What?
Dangerous, I think it was. Yeah. Wembley Stadium. I went with my sister and my cousins, and it was just a blast. The whole day was just really hilarious, and we were just overawed by the amount of energy that was in one place. You know, it was really, yeah, it was Wembley Stadium. Yeah, the old one. Yeah, so that was amazing.
How did it feel though in a big space? And do you remember?
I just remember like feeling very shaky all the time.
MJ.
Yeah. But what amazing performer he was, you know, incredible. To watch him on stage was a real gift. So thank you, Mum and Dad, for that.
That's cool.
Oh, my turn. So I think the first gig I went to, I think I was 15, and I don't really remember much of the gig, but what I do remember is just begging my mum to go. And there was this band called Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy, which are kind of sort of quite a sort of like earnest kind of hip hop band, kind of quite left wing. They had a song called Television, the Drug of a Nation, you know, and stuff like that. It's Michael Franti. Yeah.
Amazing.
So and I was 15, and I think I was just quite a serious young man. Can you believe? And I was just like, yeah, TV, whatever. And then, but I was just thinking, I can't really remember much. I just think I was just probably just more like, oh my God, I'm at a show. And I just remember going to my mum. I was like, this is really important. It's really important that I go to this. It's really, because it was at the Town and Country Club, which is now the Forum in Kentish Town. And then, yeah, and I had the T-shirt from the gig until like probably about, I don't know, 5 years ago or something. So
that's amazing.
That's quite a long time. So yeah, but yeah, and then I was just trying to think what was the gig after that, and then I just don't remember. Like it's just like then it's just like gigs, you know. Then it's like shows and whatever.
I think you're right. Once it starts, you just can't stop going to these things.
Yeah.
You guys are good. I'm to be honest, I don't. I think even if I had the time to go, I don't think I'd give it a chance. A lot of my music experience has either been through family growing up or via movie and TV soundtracks, and then I'm like, oh my God, love that. Find them even till now. And you guys have been more exploring, especially in your roles, but you dive in and give people a chance and create as well. Michael Franti is a G, and he's still going.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Yeah, Television, the Drug of a Nation.
Yeah.
Breeding ignorance and feeding radiation.
Yes, like yeah.
Guys, share your first gig experience and what's it called? Living or past or present, or a gig that you wish you could have gone to. Because yeah, and please go and check out, do your research with this. We're talking about quality here. Quality. Okay. Next question, guys. Thanks for that. Let's have a look. Bear with me. Just turning the pages. So, so basically, recently, lovely Neil and a friend of ours, Olivia, came to see Leikeli47, who is just amazing. She's on the basically Insecure and probably the first series of Insecure soundtrack. Check out her track. She's amazing. She's on tour, acrylic and all that stuff. And it was nice, wasn't it? It was an
great.
intimate gig.
Yeah, loved it.
Just so humble, but she's like, do not fuck with me in her presence. She's like Badger, which is there's an African artist, Nigerian artist who wears a mask, but she wears a mask, and it's not everyone focuses on that, but she's about focus on my music and my messaging and not
voice,
just that. Especially when it's mainly to do with like sex appeal and money and all that bravado. She was amazing. So we came out quite on a high, natural high. But I think I asked you guys, would you sleep overnight outside a box office for tickets? Because I was seeing people on like trying to get tickets for different things, and I'm like, NASA. But sorry, I love you, but I ain't losing my comfort bed. Have you guys ever done that? Would you for anybody?
Personally never done that. I just can't see myself
No.
doing it.
You're having a laugh. It's like there's nothing no matter how much I love, I'm just like, no.
Okay, what about something like a festival, Glastonbury?
No.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to sleep in the mud anyway. I'm not gonna sleep to get into the mud. You know.
I always miss that anyway.
Yeah.
It's like it's all sold out by the time I wake up. So.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It is. We need some festivals together, but we'll talk about that after this. Now,
glad we all agree on that.
I can see us doing festivals, but yeah, we'll buy the tickets and get there.
Yeah.
With the helicopter,
Yeah, of course.
What are your go-to karaoke songs?
Okay. Well, that's an easy one for me because I always sing this. My Girl by The Temptations.
He does it beautifully.
And I really enjoy it. And I think because I was quite shy growing up as a in Yorkshire. And I was also quite visible because I guess I was the only ethnic minority. So using that song, I guess, helped me to sort of come out a little bit of my shell, which was fun.
In so many levels.
I like to sing a lot of songs at karaoke, so I'm trying to think what do I enjoy singing. I quite like singing Adele, "Rolling in the Deep."
Yeah, you're good at that actually.
I've practiced. That's the thing. It's practice. Good karaoke equals practicing.
Practice.
Just practice, but only within the karaoke environment. I don't practice at home.
Don't take that on tour.
Yeah. Just sing the same. I just did karaoke for my birthday, and you put all the songs online. You can set the playlist up in advance, and I put all the songs in, and then I noticed that I'd done karaoke the 2 years before, and I looked at the 1 year before, and 3/4 were exactly the same song. So I was just like, well, no originality for a start, but I thought, practice.
But there is it. Sincerely, "Rolling in the Deep" is my favorite Adele song, and I don't know. Sometimes it's not even applicable to an experience. It's just you can hear what she's been through.
Yeah.
And I love the power.
Yeah.
But the power ballads of before, that's power ballad.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're gonna play me like that, man-ho. I'm gonna end you. Eloquent Essex fashion.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And oh my god, have you heard the version by LinkinPark?
No.
Okay. Listen. Chester Bennington, they did one.
Okay.
And they covered it. Don't laugh. It is amazing.
I have to see it, I think.
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Let me not big it up because we've all got different tastes.
Yeah.
But I love LinkinPark, and they did it, and it was stripped down. And I was like, don't touch Adele. Don't touch Adele. Oh, you're going there. Folded my arms. Prove it. Owned it.
Were you a LinkinPark fan before?
Yeah. Calling
okay.
And all that. But that kind of Wallace sound. But I like things like Rage Against the Machine,
sure.
PearlJam,
Yeah.
and all that. But it was like, I think I prefer acoustic better. So when they stripped it down, and it was just, I think, a guitar and his voice, which is like Vedder, Zach De La Rocha, strong voices, and I was just like, I get it. It's got the Adele strength and his strength.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. You can just let me know. All right. I'll put in the link below as well. Yeah, my mind's there. Sorry. It's good choices. Mine are okay. So basically, poor Neil, and I'm sure Bart in the past has heard this as well, whether we were rum soaked or not. My go-to karaoke has been, so in the past I mistakenly booked a like an over 60s holiday. And I didn't know it was over 60s, and it was so dry.
Oh
I for a few days after production shoots, I was so tired. I just went to the high street, booked it, and I got there. So I lot of Silver Surfers,
Yeah.
and then they did karaoke one day. And I think I was a bit sarcastic, but I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. And then there's another time, and it
Did
was,
they survive?
I know, yeah. Were you pointing at them? They all keeled over.
No comment.
Yeah.
If they keeled over, it's because of the bad signal. All right, we'll leave it at that. What else was the other one? I sang on holiday. My favourite one I did once was "Whole of the Moon" by the Water Boys. I played that
Good song.
a lot. It's an amazing song. I love lyrics. Then poor Nilu suffered on my 40th birthday with things like Mr. Brightside.
You did that really well. I was impressed.
Are you sure?
It's much better than your version of Happy Birthday.
What? Which one? Which version of Happy Birthday? To you.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, let's not do an inside joke. We'll tell. Basically, when it's close friend's birthday, if they don't pick up the phone, they might know it's me. So they'll pick it up and they'll be basically, let's say.
Do you want to do a rendition right now?
Yeah.
We want people to watch and listen to you guys. They get a version of Happy Birthday from me. It's not always good for the eardrums. That's what Nilu's diplomatic trying to say over there. That's why. And there was that. Yeah, those are the main ones. I can't remember the other.
That's very thoughtful, though.
Yeah.
It's all about
It is.
the thought behind it, and the care and the expression and the sharing of creativity.
Oh, you're good.
Just want you to sing it now.
You really don't. You really don't.
It's a special version.
Yeah. Only if it's your birthday.
And that's good. But I'm gonna. It was. I wanted to do Bart a voice note, but I thought I needed to celebrate his birthday as well. And hello. And what's it called? Welcome. So basically, another thing was Dead Prez as well. Hip hop karaoke. That's my favorite one. And Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby. That was one. So next question. From the perspective of musicians and creative, what was the first track you composed or lyric you wrote? Can you remember? Excuse the background noise, listeners.
Hey.
Welcome to joining as well. Yeah.
So I think the first song that I wrote all by myself was when I was 15, and it was called "Those Nights Were Cold." And it's like a slow R&B number, and it's really cheesy. So I'm not gonna share any more lyrics.
It's got a good title.
Yeah, exactly. But the links, do share your thoughts, listeners, on this as well. But Nilu's got amazing renditions on SoundCloud and other links. So the ones that he chooses to share, I'll put below upload. I
think I've re-recorded that. I worked in a record company in Paris as part of my year out at university, and they allowed me to record that song, which was great. I really enjoyed it. But it was very cringe because you're 20 years old and you're singing a song that you wrote when you're just reaching puberty. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
It was just really cheesy.
The nights were cold.
The days were long.
Don't get me started, actually, because
cliche after cliche.
Right. Okay, so I've never written anything. I love writing little notes and quotes and things like that, but yeah, others do it better. Question: do you understand the adoration and serious involvement of fans, or stans as they're called, or are there boundaries crossed by obsessive followers? For example, social media critics and intrusion into the personal lives of musicians or in bands and artists. Do you ever have a feeling about that?
Do you want to go first?
That's quite a long question. Okay. I can understand. Fans comes from the word fanatic, doesn't it? So it's True. Whilst I'm far too lazy to get too too fanatical about people. I can, you can see it. I think, I guess what happens with social media is there's more of a open, direct way of communicating that, and whereas before, I imagine you would write letters directly to the artist, or you'd write them to the record label, or you would turn up at the gigs or whatever. So there's always been incredible levels of fanaticism. Is it? Well, the Beatles and all that, and the Osmonds and Jackson 5 and whatever, all the kids going crazy and stuff. So where am I going with this answer? I've lost my train of thought. But it's very involved. So and I think then we're like these days. I think it's everyone everyone's got direct access, and it's also sort of broadcast openly, and so you do get to see the positive sides, but I guess you see the negative sides as well on that, and so yes.
From your point of view, okay, I've got two questions. You just said something about the Beatles. Let's come back to in a second. But from your perspective within the industry, quote unquote. Okay, my background was broadcast media for 20 years. So when I'd meet with talent and trying to book that or help with casting and stuff, I met with two actors. We've known each other a long time, and they went up for the same roles. The casting agent wanted them both. The producers liked them both. One got the part because he had more Twitter followers. And this is before it's even as big now. And we were just like, it was, it's, so I get that because when I was working production, there was more for the marketing budget, post-production, before the actual shoot. So than the actual shoot. So I get it. It's business. It's a bottom line. But, my question to you is, how much do you encourage artists to have social media, or do you have social media machinery for each of them to encourage the fan base?
It's important, for artists. It depends on the artist. As I work with different types of artists at different levels, and because I work for an independent label, we don't, we wouldn't have. I don't know, might be slightly different versus a major, but I work with Bonnie Prince Billy. He does actually have a Twitter account, but it's not something that we start, building into the campaign, and he uses that as a personal means for him to work within that space, but then there's that set other artists that I work with, and we're developing them, and social media is essential, so and you have to it's a way of communicating with people, and also marketing. My job is marketing. So I guess it just depends on the artist, but I think when at the end of the day, it's important for them to be on there.
Especially as you're pushed to be relevant all the time. It's a lot. So second part of the question, you said something about the Beatles and the fans. I have had this thing that disturbs me deeply with every time I see the early footage, and these are guys that were in the cavern in Liverpool, and they weren't always on just the drink to help their creativity. Then they suddenly flow with their mop tops and stuff like that. And that wall of screaming I just don't understand. That scares me.
Yeah, it's the hysteria, isn't it?
The hysteria.
No, they had to stop.
That's fanhood, or do you think that was manufactured?
No, I think that's real. Yeah, it's the first time that these kids had seen anything like that.
It's like
they had to stop touring, didn't they? Because of the screaming, they couldn't hear it themselves. The fans couldn't hear the music.
It was fainting. I've never done that, and I get very excited about different artists. I can't imagine myself ever doing that.
It was the primal scream release of sexuality. It was like
60s.
It's the 60s. It was the sort of the birth of the teenager in the 50s, and where younger people were allowed to be more individual, and they didn't have to sort of follow so much in their parents' footsteps. And then there was these, I guess Elvis as well, these sort of sexy guys, and then presented that way for people to adore and so that that's you've got all this sort of tension that's been held back, and then suddenly it's just like this like screaming noise. So
your stars. Sorry guys, that's been a personal like query for years. That makes so much sense actually. I can get that. Release, rebel, freedom.
yeah,
Okay.
just
I
like,
get
yes,
it.
let's get on a motorbike and make sweet love smoking pot somewhere behind the bike sheds.
I love that. So this is more of a statement to give you a premise for the question, but so we know lyrics and music affect profoundly. People relate and feel like the singer or the band are speaking to them directly, mind and soul, and all of that. So, but I was thinking about some of the artists that were like Prince, for example, very shy, you know, or don't give interviews. Current ones that don't give interviews say, but you know, they have to be part of the album release junket and all of this. But I did kind of think, okay, if they were shy off stage, and then they'll be on stage and they're like extrovert, performers, magnetism. How can you be shy? That introvert extrovert misunderstanding, which I actually totally get. So it occurred to me maybe it was a one way. They just wanted to express and didn't need analysis. Do you ever have a sense of that with sort of Prince or anyone else like that don't like doing interviews, or what do you think?
So, just speaking from my own personal experience, the reason why I went into singing was to overcome this extreme shyness that I had when I was a kid. So I'm naturally an introvert, but I do force myself into situations where I can, you know, push that to the limit. So performing was one of them. I'd be terribly nervous and sometimes sick before I went on stage. You know, it was to that extent. So, but I don't think it was one way. It was expressing stuff, but also sharing an experience. And you know, people do want to be heard and liked and things like that. So I think it was two-way for me. I'm not sure about Prince, really. So what do you think about Prince?
I think a lot of things. But I think there's equal amounts of people who are extrovert and perform. I think you can be an introvert and be, you know, when you get on stage and you perform. A lot of performers I know, or you know, or friends who perform, you know, are incredibly nervous, you know, and and then and then you just go on stage and you know they'll come off and they'll just say, "Oh, I was just shitting myself," you know, the whole time or whatever, but you don't see that. Yeah. And I think also the process of creating and often you know attracts introverted people, you know, and I think Prince was very introverted and shy, but also he was just a massive show off. You know, and you know when you look like that and you play like that, you know, and you've got those songs, it's just like please do.
Yeah,
so
I mean, the things you did to microphone stand, I was like,
I know,
amazing.
I know, yeah.
What's it called? So what did I have? Oh, okay. So yesterday I realized something, guys. I'm still grieving for a few artists, and I didn't realize I was grieving until I sat down and I'd watch certain documentaries. So, for example, I don't like people like MJ, Michael Jackson, people like Miriam Makeba, David Bowie, George Michael. Avicii I wasn't obsessed with, but I watched a recent documentary about him. He was very introverted, but immersed himself in his creative DJ Avicii, sorry. And I realized I made the time to watch them because it was either in their words or by close circle of family or friends. And I just didn't want to watch something that was lies or sensation or assumption. I was like that truth. So, but I realized I was listening. Jeff Buckley came on my YouTube timeline, and Grace came on, and the album came on, and like my mum, I played things on a loop. I haven't listened to that album since he passed. He died in '97, I think it was. I haven't played it since then. It came on a timeline. I played, and all the lyrics were there. And I realized I was grieving, and I just didn't understand. I love these songs. MJ, I haven't played for different reasons, which, I'm still kind of about the allegations and stuff like that. Whether it's true or not, I can't quite play it yet. Others. So my question to you is like, I don't know the answer. Why am I grieving why am I grieving basically? Why do we grieve? Why couldn't I play those songs as a group therapy session? It's a weird thing because I just didn't know. And because they're still on my playlist, but I'd skip the Prince songs. It's weird.
I think I did that with Prince too. There was
Yeah.
there was a time where I just couldn't listen to him because I'd get tearful. You know,
Yes.
it was really an emotional wrench not having him in this world. So yeah, I couldn't listen to the whole Parade album, and I haven't really listened to it since then. I think it's too painful.
It is painful.
So,
There's different ones. It's painful. So it's reliving that, or you don't want to let go. That's it. You just don't want to let go. There's part of you don't want to let go, or not. I can't enjoy it fully. They're not here. It's weird. I didn't see them live or anything. Miriam Makeba I saw live, and I can't play stuff because it's weird.
Yeah. I found that whole thing interesting because I've never met Prince. I've only seen him in concert maybe twice. But to be that affected by someone's passing that I wouldn't normally see in day-to-day life was a surprise, I guess.
It's true. So I just wanted to share that. It just occurred to me. It's just like, why are you bawling? He's been. But he died ages ago.
Do you think when we do that, we're actually grieving people that we have lost in our lives?
I like. Probably going to sound super cold, but it's like when famous people die, or even like people like Prince and David Bowie were very formative for me. When they died, I didn't really touch. I didn't feel as affected. And I think it's everyone gets so I don't know. I feel like when people die, everyone's like, oh, my favorite. Everyone reflects and they talk about the person and stuff. But I do think is like what I find more is personal reflection about songs that are connected to people that I know that maybe have died or whatever, and that's that connection. But then that's more personal, and that could be any song for artists living or dead, rather than the artists themselves.
No, I get you. I think no, it's not cold at all because I think it's maybe to do with that whole soundtrack of your lives thing. They were part of that.
I think that the people I really like was like Prince and David Bowie. And I guess David Bowie is slightly different. I just kind of thought the music you're making, is like, I don't know, I don't know, it may sound really cruel or something. I don't know. I was like, you've created this music that I love and I don't need any more from you. I've got all this amazing music that I can just sort of still live with. And, it's not, it's I guess if it was like Prince in like 1986 and he died, I'd just be like, what, I feel like, in the height of your power and you're just being so creative. I think they'll probably have a bit more of an effect, I think.
But that's not cold. I can understand that because we're all wired differently, and whether you've got any emotional connection or investment or not, I think that's totally understandable. Actually, maybe it was. You're right. I think it was probably a personal aspect of it. I wouldn't link it to anyone who's died unless it was part of a memory. There's maybe like Sweet Mother. There's a famous like Prince Maga song, Sweet Mother. I'm not gonna forget. That was like linked with my grandmother. So I think if that came on, that would be a trigger. But no, I get you though. I don't think it's cold. It's different wiring. So yeah. But Tom Petty, I haven't been to play. That hit me. Rocking around. But anyway, moving on.
I nearly went to see Tom Petty and I didn't, and then he died. And I was really annoyed because I just only recently got into him in the last couple of years, and then I was like, he played, I think, Hyde Park, and then I think he died quite soon after that, and I was like, oh, wow, shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of that, anyone past that you would have loved to see that you didn't get? Mine is Bo Diddley. There's one I would have loved to see Bo Diddley live. Because he's just a naughty man.
That would be amazing.
It was just him and the banter with him and it's like he's amazing.
I guess on a similar theme, Bessie Smith. I love her music and the fact that she wrote a lot of her stuff in an age where people were just singing other people's songs. And I wrote a sort of a tribute album for her, and it's based around the stories that she used to tell in between her songs at her gigs. So each song kind of focuses on one of these stories. So yeah, that's one person I would have loved to have seen because apparently her voice was spectacular. She didn't need a microphone. you know, she just belted out these wonderful blues tunes.
That's a blast from the past. Apparently she was a proper character.
Yeah, yes.
I wonder if there's any biopics.
Rock and roll. She probably invented rock and roll or the
Amazing.
lifestyle.
Yeah. Janis Joplin. If I could go back in time,
Yeah.
possibly as well, actually.
Sylvester.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh wait. Do you want a funk? That one?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, I do. This would be the answer.
And again, I only know that because of film Longtime Companions. That's the only reason
Okay.
I know about
Yeah.
Sylvester. And because of it, I was like, oh, I like this. He's naughty.
Yeah.
And I saw the video of it, and I was like, yes, man, you'll be good. So what else can I ask you? So, but I think you've covered some of this, but from a perspective of the commissioners, A&R labels, the kind of wide remit of the work that you do, I wanted to find out, and you know, it also includes like kind of discovering and nurturing talent and all of this. Do you think fans on the whole understand the hard work involved, like beyond just the face of the singer and the screaming and the performances and stuff?
I think some do. You know, I guess you just have different levels of fan. You know, you have a casual fan, and then you have your, you know, your obsessive, your stan, whatever, and then there's people in the middle. And I think it's just how much they engage. You know, there's some fans that just know exactly what an artist is doing and who's involved and who's written the songs and where they've been and when they're on holiday and who their mum is, and you know, and then there's other people who just like listen to music. Oh, I like that song on the radio. You know, it's the radio. Spotify. So I think some, you know, some do, you know, and I guess sometimes you guess some people might just take it for granted, the hard work that goes behind, you know, schedules are really, you know, tough, you know, and people work really hard, you know, and so you know, I think sometimes that might be taken for granted a bit. So yeah.
The reason I ask is that it's like when I hear different bands talk about their Get Out, some assume it's an overnight success. There might be overnight success stories, but even if you have got the talent, it's for people out there who want to get into the music industry, whatever platform, and, you know, or you're seeing the Mercury Prize, or you're seeing Grammys, and you're seeing all the glitz. I just wanted them to understand the hard work involved. Have you got the stamina? You know, you're seeing, you know, you've got the pantomime of kind of, well, without respect actually, but the pantomime of, which one's Simon Cowell on?
X Factor.
X Factor. Now, I get it. I understand how TV
American
works.
Idol.
But that kind of pantomime of Bowie and his, when he gives constructive advice, he's like saying, it's hard work. Are you ready for it? I mean, it's all about eye candy as well. But it made me laugh. I was like, he's actually talking sense. Are you ready?
Most of the time. Some of the time.
But you get my gist about he's, you know, there's this and this. There's a reason why Beyonce is, she puts in the work. There's a reason why Stormzy is up there. He rides deep, and he's bringing a whole.
Yeah, watch Homecoming. Is nice. You know, Beyonce didn't just do, you know, crop up of it on stage and put that all together. That takes months and months and months, you know, and lots of personal sacrifice.
But also she had a baby just before the tour. Yeah, twins. Yeah. And she just the amount of work she put in to get herself into shape after having kids was incredible. You could see that transformation. I just wouldn't have realized.
Exactly, me too. I didn't know that level.
She's vegan.
Oh yeah.
She's vegan.
Yeah. I saw that she's advertising her diet regime.
Oh really?
That she did during home. I don't know. It was on her YouTube. I was watching her YouTube channel, and a thing came up. It's something called like 22 days, and there's lots of stuff from behind the scenes at home, from the Homecoming film.
I saw a clip. There's a guy.
There's a guy. Yeah, some guy. She's some guy, and she's like some guy, and then Beyonce's talking to this guy repeatedly, and he's like, "Go for it, do it." Then it says like 22 days, and I'm sure that's like it's going to be like some sort. I think it's a vegan lifestyle plan. But I thought that was quite interesting that she managed to sort of like. She's going to manage to sort of sell something off, you know, like she's like, okay, here's my vegan.
Very enterprising.
Yes,
exactly. But I like legacy moves like that, and that's what I want people to know. If you're ready, be ready. Surround yourself with the right people, and because sometimes I'm looking online and I'm just, they've got all these followers, but are they actually in it for the music, or because they're trying to get in because you've got all of these followers
Right.
and things like that? So when I'm seeing all of this kind of roller coaster of, well, no wonder they're in rehab. They've got fake people all around them, and you know, Kid Cudi, I was like, he's amazing, and then this is years ago, he's in rehab and stuff. And I was like, why? Well, you don't know who's around you. It's hard work. It's exhausting. The touring, the scheduling you're talking about, and things. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, get involved, people. Please comment below. These two guys are amazing, and really thank you for your time. Is there anything you guys want to add, or put out any socials or projects or anything out there, or any up and comings or gigs coming up that people should
Come
check out?
and see my band Barry. we're on Instagram, Barry the Band.
Okay, cool. I'll put the link
If
below.
you like songs about people pissing in the street, and other songs about, I don't know, internships. Really sold it to you there, haven't I? Barry the Band on Instagram, anyway.
They're really good, by the way.
Thank you, Neil, for telling them. Exactly.
I saw them at the Windmill.
The Windmill, possibly at the
in
Windmill,
Brixton,
yeah.
Which is fun,
Yeah.
and they have really good t-shirts as well.
yeah. Get that merch.
Tote bags.
No tote bags.
Not yet.
Strictly. We're selling a t-shirt. We're not selling any music at the moment, so I feel like we're off the moment.
Any vegan diet plans?
Well, as long as it involves lots of cheddar on top, then yes, I have got one for you. Yeah.
What about you, Neil?
No plans at the moment. I think I'm moving back up to Yorkshire, so hopefully I'll get a band together up there, which would be fun.
I like it.
But yeah, no gigs coming up.
Your SoundCloud links and things like
Yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. So the Bessie, one of the Bessie Smith tribute songs is on SoundCloud, so I'll point that out for whoever's listening.
Thank you again, guys, for your time.
Thank you. This was fun.
You guys, please, listeners, do share in your comments below. Share this upload and any of the comments below. All the content and the links that we talked about, I'll put below. And yeah, all the best, and thanks for checking us out. It's been Bart, Neil, and Aleakwe. All the best.